We'll start at 11, like I said. Alright, let's just grab this armor. Let's sell... Okay. Okay. That's the gleaming. Alright, what time is it? 3 minutes and I'll start. I'm just getting some stuff together. Yeah. So what I need now is the dark set. Okay, there we go. Last but not least, okay. And 1 minute. Okay, let me look at my schedule. Oh, why do I still have stuff? Alright, let's begin now. So all of this, the showcases I'm about to show, I'll put this up on the YouTube channel as well, just in the short format. Let's start by going over the armor sets I've completed so far. So far I've done 2 armor sets. These are level 3 armor sets. So this color of armor, the golden color, that used to be the bronze set, but I've actually made a bronze retexture of the same armor. So instead of gold, it's brown. You can see the chest there. It is brown. The shield is also brown-ish. So this is the gilded bronze armor. So this is just a simple recolor, and that's because I wanted the paladin armor to be the gold colored. So this is the gleaming set now. And the actual stats are completed. So this is for paladin builds. Then we've got an armor for Death Knight builds, so black magic heavy combat hybrids, and that's the what do you call it? That's the Iron Blood set. You can see that the texture on the trousers has been, the chainmail is darker and it has these little patches of red on it. And I tried to make the plates on the shins match the plate on the arm. If you look at her arm, the color scheme kind of matches. And basically what these armor sets do is you've got different armor sets for different playstyles. This first one, the helmet will be changed to a different model on this one. This first one is a defensive set, so it's just giving you lots of stamina and armor. The second one, the Gilded Bronze set, is an offensive set, which gives you extra attack and fighting speed. So it's for dealing damage. And then the other set, the Paladin set and the Death Knight set, which I just showed you, they give you additional, they give you less heavy combat stats, so less armor, less HP, but they give you magic stats as well. So you can sort of play a hybrid playstyle more effectively. So that's the armor out of the way. Now I'm going to show off the orc reworks to the orc units. I've put in the first batch of units. And I'm going to show that off in a battle. So let's actually load another character. This guy. Coliseum. Testing ground. Here we go. So. Oh, somebody's here. -2 piece. Yeah, so every piece of armor is supposed to... It's not here anymore. So the defensive armor, that gives you lots of defensive stats. That gives you minus fighting speed, minus cast speed. The idea is to specialize your character, so you'll get lots of tankiness, but you'll sacrifice your damage output. So yeah, every armor gives a lot more stats than in vanilla, but it also gives you some weaknesses. So each armor is really specialized for a specific task. But you've got a ring here. Look at this ring here. So Ring of the Arbalest. This is heavy armor 3, and this gives you run plus 5%. So you can use rings to counteract the weakness of your armor a little bit if you want. I don't have a Ring of the Arbalest. If I put that on, I'll go from run 98 to run speed 103. So you can counteract it a little bit. For the dude in chat. So let's look at our first reworks here. So building tech tree mode figure and give me goods. Just gonna get a bunch of workers to start building. So far I've reworked the fighter, the totem, and the hornblower.
What now? What?
We're gonna get a Hall of Glory.
Okay.
Hopefully that music's not too loud. No, it's a bit loud, I think. Get a
Yes.
shaman's hut.
Work's all I do.
Okay. So the fighter is a simple unit. The fighter is a tank.
Yes.
So they don't deal that much damage,
What now?
but they put out a lot of damage. So I need that. I need to upgrade the shaman, and I need the war boars.
Okay, fine. What's up? As you command. Where's the enemy? What now?
So the fighter's got decent armor scales with the levels, unfortunately, so I can't exactly get him to have his full armor yet. Orcs have 10% less blunt damage that they receive. And both weapons inflict poison, weaken, and slow fighting. So if he inflicts poison, slow fighting or weaken, he will reduce the enemy damage output. And he's also got extra health. Less strength, though. Then let's upgrade the basic totem. Let's get a headquarters as well. No.
Work's all I do.
The basic totem's got a two-handed staff, whereas the upgraded one
Upgrade complete.
has the usual
What's up?
shield and spear. All orcs have poisoned weapons, so remember that from my reworks. Now the orc can also cast Death Grasp and Dispel White Aura. I might keep that, I might change that. So they've got multiple spells now. And then we can just upgrade the Hornblower. The Hornblower is the most different one. So the Hornblower has benefactions, so he can heal multiple teammates. You can see their rally, restore 20% life to the caster and up to 10 allies. So this gives the orcs sort of a little bit of sustain. What we're going to do now is we're going to show off a little battle. So let's summon some units. So here are the Wild Elves. You've got the Warder down here, which is a frontline unit. Not a lot of HP, although they're level 5, so they got more HP than my orcs at the moment. That's a frontline unit. Then you've got the Priestess, which casts Aura of Regeneration, so she's the healer for the Wild Elves. The Wanderer is an armor-piercing unit, so she's got True Shot, so she deals a lot of damage. So 14 to 21 damage without True Shot. Every 2 seconds, so her weapon is quite slow. She can cast Thorn Shield on allies, and she can also cast True Shot as well. Her bow can inflict a decay. So that's a very strong armor-piercing unit. This is basically very similar to the actual Rune Elves that you get. You've got the Ranger, which uses Salvo, so she can hit multiple targets. So they're going to put out a lot of AoE damage, basically. And then we have the Sorceress, which casts Roots and Poison. So the Swamp Elves, the normal Elves, there's sort of a taboo with casting black magic. The Swamp Elves, they don't give a shit. They cast black magic as much as they cast white magic. So, no such taboo for them. So let's summon some more units. Let's get a front line of 15, I think. And now, this test here, this is what the player will have access to in the new map. It'll be 30 units plus war boars, the boars. So what you're going to see here is that this is not quite enough. We actually outnumber the enemy here. But these elves synergize really well with each other, and they have healers, proper dedicated healers, so this is going to make this fight quite difficult. The idea is that you're not really supposed to win the fight on your own, unless you're very good at the game. If you're very good at the game, then obviously you can. But the idea is you're supposed to form an alliance with... Oh, I think I summoned one too many. The idea is that you're supposed to form an alliance with the other two factions, NPC factions in the game, and you combine your forces to kill the wild elves, the swamp elves. Alright, so here we go. What have we got? Yeah, we got one too many totems. That's my bad. 7 healers should be alright. Obviously, my avatar's not going to get involved here. So this is a full attack force. You're also not going to have towers. So you need to keep some orcs back in order to defend your settlement. What do I have? 7? Oh, I need 1 more front line. So even with your avatar and heroes, it's not going to be too easy to overcome the swamp elves. Let's get a front line up front. Let's get my damage back here. Alright, here we go.
As you command. As you command.
I'm gonna try to kill one of these healers, priestesses, if I can. We managed to kill one. Let's kill another. That's another one dead. I'm gonna pull my totems back. And my totems have lost their mana. Let's pull my hornballowers back. Now I should be killing these archers. Let's go kill some of these rangers up here. Now it's difficult to see what's going on, but you'll see. Their priestess is out of mana. So you can see that we lost pretty badly. Now if I was a bit smarter and killed their archers a bit sooner, might have been able to tip the battle more in my favor. But this is just to give you an idea of the power level of the enemy compared to the power level of your orcs. It's also that you only have 40 units, but we already outnumber them in this fight. So you can see just how strong all of their spells and their synergy is. So that was just a quick showcase of that. What is next on the list that I need to show off? So battle showcase is done. I've shown this off. Ah, spells. Destiny Bond. Right. So we're going to shift over to another different character now. No, different character. Is it this girl? Yes, spell showcases. Here it is. So, Destiny Bond. What is Destiny Bond? Destiny Bond is basically assistance. It's this spell down here in the bottom left. Destiny Bond. So what this does is when you target an enemy with this, it'll spread any damage you deal to that enemy to other nearby enemies. Now this actually divides your damage, so you're not dealing extra damage. So this spell is actually really, really bad. This spell doesn't work. It's supposed to be used on your allies, I think, to get... Say, for example, if you give it to a healer, that instead of that healer taking full damage, it'll spread that damage among other teammates, but you've already got so much healing that it's... I kind of wanted to do an offensive option instead, and that's what Reimagine did. It's just turned this into a spell you target on enemies. Unfortunately, Reimagined, it spreads between too many enemies, like 6, 7, 8 enemies. You're dividing your damage by 8, basically, which is not useful at all. In Spellforce, you want to kill enemies quickly, because then when an enemy's dead, they're not dealing damage to you. And this spell basically lowers your burst damage on a single enemy. So, in order to give this a niche, I spread the damage between 3 enemies max. So the target and 2 other enemies. And then later versions of the spell only spread damage to an additional target. So 2 targets maximum. So that's the first change that I've done. If we go up here and we smash one of these guys in the face, just with my melee weapon, I've made the move really slowly, and they can't really hurt me. Let's see how much damage. 45, 51. It's decent. If I go ahead and I cast Destiny Bond now, I will hit 3 enemies, but the damage is lower. So 13 damage, 18 damage. So that's pretty pathetic, if we're going to be completely honest. Now, one thing I can do is, let's decay and use Warcry at the same time. So let's decay this guy. Then we'll do Destiny Bond on him. And then Warcry. 38 damage.
The lines must hold.
41. So now I'm dealing much more reasonable damage. So if we combo this spell, you can see the health bar sort of dropping there.
Stay with me, men.
But again, still not too useful. Let's decay this victim again. And we're going to cast Chain Rock Bullet. Oh, I missed. And Destiny Bond. And Chain Rock Bullet. This should deal fairly decent damage.
It's an ambush.
There we go. You can just see them taking damage. We've already killed 1. 2. And that's just combining a chain spell with decay and Destiny Bond. Just combining them together. This guy still has decay, so we're just going to go ahead and kill the rest of these. So that was just a quick showcase. What I'm going to show now...
The lines must hold.
And you could see only 3 enemies were getting hit at once.
Rune warriors, stand by me.
2 enemies died at once.
Stay with me, men.
You can see the idea. Let's reload that, so that I can show off the real niche for this spell. Ooh, that's the wrong map. The real niche for this is if you've got a lot of... If you can overkill enemies with 1 or 2 hits, that's where this spell is really useful. Because overkill damage is not damage that you actually deal. You deal too much damage, right? Now, very rarely in these mods do you actually overkill enemies. In the vanilla game, it's very easy to overkill. But in these mods, when they try to balance the difficulty and the fun, it's very rare that you actually overkill enemies. So I'm going to show you an example with Warlocks. Now, we all know... Oh, I don't have any resources. Now, we all know Warlocks deal a ton of damage. So we're going to take 10 Warlocks, and I'm going to show you just how quickly we can kill 3 of those captains. Stop. No. These guys want to... I need to get rid of these arena spectators.
We are dead. A silvery death awaits our enemies.
So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do Destiny Bond on 1 enemy, and then we're going to get all of our Warlocks to target that 1 enemy. Now, you could micromanage, and you could get 3 of your Warlocks to target 1 enemy, and then 3 to target another enemy, and then... But that's a lot of micromanagement. A lot of people don't want to do that.
Silvery death awaits our enemies.
And if you let your Warlocks just fire at will, they will usually target the same enemy most of the time.
To adventure. Let's go.
What? What's Smart Mage's behavior?
Forwards. Follow me.
Are you sure?
Quickly now.
Because I'm pretty sure... hold on, let me pause. Because I just played 1.61 Reimagined, and Destiny Bond works the way it's supposed to, I think. Doesn't it? I could be wrong. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so smart, mages. I guess you fixed it for your spell framework, right? Oh, you're talking magic damage. Ah, sorry. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, I'll show it off just now. The way this spell should work is it should deal a percentage of the full damage to the main target to additional targets, but not lower the main damage. Or let's say you deal 50% damage to the main target and 25% damage to 3 additional targets. So that's a total of 125% damage, so you are getting more damage out of it. That's probably how you would make this spell work better, if you want to do for your spell framework. But yeah, let's show it off then. So I'm gonna use... Oh, these guys need to fuck off. So here's assistance on the first target. We should be able to kill 3 of them instantly. There we go, 3 of them dead. So this is the real niche for this spell. Is if you've got a lot of burst damage. And that damage is difficult to control on multiple targets. So what shall we show off next? Alright, let's just kill these guys so I can keep showing things off. Die. And there we go. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, he died too quickly.
We're under attack.
These guys can die. So, we've got a few spell reworks here. You've already seen Chain Rock Bullet, which I have lowered all the way down to level 4 plus, I think? Yeah, level 4. Starts at level 4 now. Now this I need to change these damage values. I need to get custom damage amounts for Chain Rock Bullet because the base Rock Bullet is way too high. So I will fix this eventually, but just to show an example. So in my mod, you're really supposed to combine Decay with your Rock Bullet spells to get really high damage. So we're going to get these guys to move towards me, and we're just going to use a normal Rock Bullet. Level 11. Now, as you can see, Earth Magic is very slow to cast. And these are level 30, level 25 enemies. You can see that's a fair amount of damage there, right? Almost half of their HP. Again, that's because I need custom numbers for those spells. But if I go back to the original group of enemies, I'm going to decay a few of them and then combine it with Chain Rock Bullet. And you'll be able to see... Oh, and again, Earth Magic is also Sniper Magic. You can cast from very far away. So we're gonna decay 3 of them. Obviously, you need summons to help you out with this. These guys are very slow. And then if we cast Rock Bullet... And Decay is a cheap spell to cast, so it's potentially more cost-effective to do this. And unfortunately, it didn't quite spread the way I'd hoped.
The lines must hold.
And they're dead, and they're dead. There we go. So, that's kind of the idea. The next spell we're going to show off is what? So Tempered Metal is... I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, because it's kind of small on the screen. We can just go back to Colosseum. So Tempered Metal is a new spell. Oh yeah, which isn't here. My bad. I forgot to equip it. Tempered metal is replacing detect metal, because detect metal would be useful if it revealed a lot of the fog of war. But yeah, unfortunately. I don't know if you can do that with the spell framework. Basically, when you cast tempered metal or illuminate, you would do unexplored enable, but for just a large area of the map. So you could freely see enemies without having to cheat. Tempered metal is at the end here. So increases the caster's armor rating. And that's literally what it does. Let's just grab the level 11 version. And the level 10. Now these do stack. Not the timers, like you said. So we're gonna, you can see the cooldown on the bottom is quite long, 64 seconds. So I believe the cooldown is always 15 seconds longer than the duration, or 20 seconds, something like that. We're gonna speed up just so I can cast it. You can see that it is working. Alright, so let's look at, oops. Alright, so let's look at my armor. So currently, if you can see that, my armor is 148. Is it easier to see in here? Yeah, 148. 59% physical resistance. If I go ahead and I use tempered metal, goes from 148 to 195 and 66% physical resistance, so 59 versus 66. So that's a pretty decent increase. For Reimagine, we're going to damage splash on Shared Destiny, just like you said. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's probably what I would do. So yeah, you can see tempered metal here. Gives you drastically increased armor, and then if you combine it with conservation, you can make a really tanky character that I call a Stone Lord. I think these enemies are going to be too much for my elemental demonstrations, so let's change. I'm going to quickly tweak the map so there aren't so many swamp elves. And I'm going to show off the map next, and then that'll be it for the showcase. So let's open up the map editor real quick just so I can... There's too many enemies in that free game map at the moment. My elementals will die. Where is it? Coliseum Testing Ground. Here we go. And we're just going to delete some of these enemies. So let's just do 5 on the front line. Let's do 2 healers, 2 sorceresses, 2 of them, and only 1 of them. Did you manage to see the... Oh, I need to ban these people from the chat. Did you manage to see the showcase for the battle against the Swamp Elves? I think you did. Let's save this Coliseum. And let's reload the game. Okay, here we go. I will do a comparison between the fire elementals, ice elementals, and earth elementals, but I'm just showing off the earth ones today. So, earth elemental changes. Earth elementals do 2 things. They cast Decay, and they cast Rock Bullet. So they're capable of lowering enemy armor, and then dealing a lot of damage to enemies that have been decayed. Let me speed this up, so you can see the cooldown is quite high. That's because these are considered elite summons, with skeletons being trash summons. So, let's summon, what is that, 8? 8 enough? I think 8 might be enough. Earth elementals have decent armor, and decent health, so they can tank for you. Frost elementals are going to be in between, and fire elementals are going to be very weak, so they're going to be easy to kill. But fire elementals deal a lot more damage because they only cast Fire Burst. So let's see how our dudes perform here. I'm not going to get involved in the fighting. I'm just going to send these guys up. Going to send a few of them up first. Let's see if they can overcome the healing that the elves have. So we got our first decay. Another decay. We've got 2 decays. 3 decays. We've got a warder that's almost dead. Dead. Got a priestess that's almost dead. And this partly works because they decay their enemies before they use Rock Bullet. Which just increases all the damage that you deal. If I were to use Chain Rock Bullet right now, I would kill a bunch of them. Because a lot of them have been decayed. Obviously the elves are a bit too strong. These summons are level 8. So my summons were outnumbered. But they're slightly higher level. Let's summon another batch. This time we'll summon... And you can sustain more summons in my mod as well than in vanilla. I think let's do a couple more like that. Alright. Oh, we've already... Oh, they're kind of spread out now, so...
The lines must hold.
Let's get all these girls over here.
We're under attack. It's an ambush. Enemies, beware.
Okay, they're a bit spread out, but you get the idea. So that's sort of the role of the stone elemental, the earth elemental. Alright, last but not least, just going to show off the map. And then I'm going to carry on doing some map work, because I'm a little bit behind on the map. So this is the portal to the Marshes in Deloni. I think you guys saw that in the previous update. Where's Enable? There it is. Alright, so if you look at the minimap, you can probably tell what map this is based on. There's a free game map called Whispering Swamps. And that's the basis for this map. I'm basically just extending and adding onto it. The interesting thing is there's 2 types of biome on this map. There's the highlands, which are green, a lot of green grass like this, and the lakes are made out of water. And then you've got the lowlands, which are, if you see the elevation difference here, there's a pretty decent difference in elevation. And this is the swamp. So there's a lot of browns. The trees are not as green. But you've got a lot of these jungle plants as well, because I wanted to make it feel more like a marsh. And the lakes are made out of mud, obviously. So what I've got so far is this is the orc monument. And I tried, my previous maps can be a little bit flat, so I tried to mess around with elevation a little bit more. So this is your starting area. You've got the iron deposit over here. And then you've got fish in these mud lakes, actually. And then underneath you've got a small deposit of Lenia. If we move over this way a little bit, and you follow the road, this is where the big deposit of Lenia is, near another lake. And across from that is the hero monument, and this is a tree wraith camp. So these tree wraiths are going to make it difficult for you to get this Lenia. So you're going to have to figure out a way to kill these guys with just melee troops, basically. Your avatar is going to have to get involved. If we go a little bit more down to the beginning, so this is where you start. This is the orc settlement. This is going to be a NPC orcs. So it's going to be a Sharrock clan. These are actual buildings because these are for to defend their settlement. You can see here. So there's a bunch of buildings here. This is an actual camp. Just like in Iloni, the elves had a camp of their own where they spawn units and then they send units off to fight their enemies. It's going to be the same thing here. These orcs are going to be friendly. Not friendly. You'll still hate each other, but these orcs are basically being hunted to extinction. So they're going to ask for your help. Ask for the Rune Warriors' help. Down here's their iron deposit. You can see their resources are running pretty low. That's going to be part of the theme for their camp. Is you bring them resources and they'll spawn extra units to help you. So down here is going to be the melee troops where they get summoned. Up here is going to be where the magical troops get summoned. If these buildings are destroyed, their camps will be destroyed, so they won't spawn repeating units anymore. The rest is just going to be object buildings. There's going to be an NPC which you're going to be able to talk with. I think that's all I've got for the time being. I know it's not a lot of progress, but making a map look good is difficult. What do you think of the mapping so far? Some of these decorations are a little inappropriate. I'll remove them. I was just experimenting to see if I can get them to look nice. Okay.